Guys, happy Friday evening. I want to show you Bitcoin in action, okay? I want to show you, I'm going to do an instant transaction here, right now. Nobody's ready for this, okay? People who don't understand Bitcoin talk about the transaction speed and the transaction cost, and that's why they get hoodwinked into owning speculative altcoins, which ultimately rug pull them, and the VCs make a lot of money and the retail get wrecked, okay? However, with Bitcoin, we're building onto it with second layer solutions, and that's what I want to talk to you about, and I want to show you in action here now, because I was basically watching a YouTube video here now about a Bitcoin movement out in Africa, and Bitcoin gives people hope, and I'll link this video in the comments of this video, and you can go and check it out. It's only 9 minutes, but it's a couple of guys who are doing amazing work in Africa with Bitcoin, and you can see it in the kids' faces that they're working with. Bitcoin is hope, Bitcoin is freedom, and Bitcoin brings happiness instantly, right now. And that's why everyone we onboard and teach about Bitcoin ultimately has no worries about their future, understands that they can have a better asset than they own, because hell knows what's going on out there in the external world. Even the most conservative people are starting to scratch their head and going, Jesus, it's getting a bit mad, isn't it? Fucking electricity's gone up 600% in a year or something, like, you know. So even conservative people are starting to scratch their head, and we're starting to have conversations about money. And if you go back 20, 30 years, people never had conversations about money. They never needed it. They just trusted the money. But now, with the birth of the internet, the digital age, information is being pushed out there. We've got TikToks. You know, kids are learning about money. Kids are learning about inflation. Some of my younger friends, you know, who are only in their 20s, are learning about inflation. Whereas that wasn't the case years and years and years ago. So that's why I think there's going to be a reset. It's a bottoms-up movement, and the current standard of basically governments using inflation to tax people silently, because most people aren't aware of inflation. For the first half of my life, I wasn't aware of it. I didn't understand it, and therefore it was bleeding my wealth. And I was trying to get rich, I was trying to get wealthy, and inflation was absolutely crippling me. Now, I did manage to get ahead, but I had that hurdle rate of 10% that I never realised, because I used to pay, you know, whatever it is, I paid 40% tax, but then there was this silent little 10% on everything that I do, and it compounds every year, and it's called inflation, and no one understands it. But this year, some people are twigging onto it because we've seen such a rise in cost of living. Anyway, I just want to show you this in action. And I suppose before I do, guys, remember the daily exercise: beware scammers in the comments. I will never ask you for money. I will never ask for Bitcoin. If you want to do any of our courses or consulting, book through my website. Don't send money to some randomer who messaged you, who screenshotted my profile picture. There's only one Dinny. Ask them for a picture flexing the guns, and then you'll know it's me, because I'll send that to you. Also, do your daily exercise. Hit the like button. We like that. It helps the algorithm. It helps push this information out there. Remember, the incumbents, okay? That's why everything you hear about Bitcoin is bad. They don't want you to know this. They want you to be fully exposed to euros or dollars or sterling or whatever it is. They don't want you to figure out how money works, because if you did, you would not live your life the same way. Anyway, what was I going to say? Lost train of thought. Anyway, here we go. So I'll show you anyway. In the Retire Early Club, we have a WhatsApp group, and the guys always share amazing stuff. And they shared this video called "The Silent Revolution in Africa." Oh yeah, I remember what I wanted to say. I may say it now before I forget. So why I said Visa and Mastercard might get Blockbustered. So Blockbuster used to have a monopoly on media, and they quickly went bankrupt in a couple of years. Why? Because Netflix came around. It was a digital product, and it was orders of magnitude better than the physical. Okay, now we have Visa, MasterCard, and all these other payment networks. And in terms of fees, they have a fee. It's like a 3% fee on using their services. Plus, you've all the KYC, all the roadblocks, and your money can get frozen at any stage of that transaction. Ask the Russians how they're getting on when all their assets were seized. And right or wrongly, I'm not here to dispute that, but I'm just saying the fact it can happen. Ask Canadian truckers who didn't want the government medicine. All their assets were frozen. Okay, with Bitcoin, we don't have that. So what Bitcoin is a store of value. Most people who understand Bitcoin understand it as a store of value. Understand I can own Bitcoin, and in 10 years' time, it's going to kick the shit out of inflation, and it's possibly going to be the best investment asset or vehicle that I can hold, as it has been for the last 10 years. Okay, it's likely. It's not financial advice, guys, but nothing's likely to keep up with Bitcoin over a decade. All right, so people get the store of value. All right, and the store of value alone makes one Bitcoin worth, I don't know, 40 million or something, because it's like, I think it's 400 trillion or something is in store of value assets from, you know, stocks and shares and pensions and precious metals and physical property. Like if you pool up on collectibles, art and classic cars and all the other stuff, if you pool it all together, it's 200 trillion. So, or it's 400 trillion. So that's where it's looking for a home and store of value. And Bitcoin's fixed that. Just no one understands it. Well, some of you guys do. You guys are smart. You guys are positioned. But that's why we want to try and push this information out there and help more and more people understand about this technology and how to use it. But the second use case for it is a payment network. Okay, and as a payment network, it's far superior than Visa or Mastercard. Okay, because Visa and Mastercard, they've got their fees. But I'm going to show you now. I was watching this little video on YouTube. Okay, and at the end of it, the guy just says, if you like what we're doing, you want to support us. He shows a QR code, so I can send. I'll just fast forward it to get.
You learn something about the silent revolution, which Bitcoin is, and I'm part of this revolution.
Check this out.
And I'm funding everything that I'm doing on my own, and therefore, if you want
Boom.
to help me to make more and more of those things.
Pause. Okay, so there's some dude. He's doing amazing work. I watched the video. Went, you know what? That's meaningful work. I'd like to donate to that. I don't donate to a third-party company that's going to take a percentage of that. I'm literally going to pull out my Moon wallet, okay, which I have here. I'm going to pause my YouTube video, alright? I'm going to click send. I'm going to open up the QR code, see the way it's going to scan it, right? I'm going to hold my phone to this. Boom. It scanned his address, so this is going to go straight to the source now. I'm going to stick in, we're going to donate in Satoshis. And we're going to send 125,000 sats. That's 12, 125. Boom. So we're going to send 125,000 sats, just a small little donation, just because he's doing good work. And I think it's cool and I'd like to support it. I confirm it. I add a little note. I'm just going to put in great work. Great. Okay, little note with the little donation. Confirm now. Boom, and that's it. There's no intermediaries. There's no one else. It's done. The sats are gone. It's gone. You know, it cost me nothing. All right. So there was no 3%. There's no bank fees. There's no intermediaries. There's no 3-day delay until that, because they're in Africa. There's no 3-day delay or week delay until that donation gets to Africa. It's literally going to be confirmed immediately. We're doing it over Lightning Network. It's wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. It's instant and it's free. And that's why Visa and Mastercard and Amazon and all these behemoths who have tiny margins, okay, and are paying 3% with our existing legacy financial system, wait till they figure out there's an option where they can take that 3% down to 0.0003% or 0.003%. Okay? Massive difference. Going to change the game. Not going to happen today or tomorrow, luckily. That's why we get to position ourselves. That's how we get to be ahead of this, because this is a new building block, okay? Bitcoin takes a little bit to understand, takes a lot to understand. I like to teach it. If you're interested in learning on it, jump onto my website and click my free Bitcoin Basics workshop. It's live with me. I'd be delighted to teach you the basics of it. Don't think Bitcoin's a get-rich-quick scheme. You're better off learning to understand it. Understand from a technology point of view, okay? And it'll teach you everything. It'll teach you about politics. It'll teach you about money. It'll teach you about computer science. It'll teach you about human incentives. It'll teach you about reality. That's how beautiful it is. That's why I'm very passionate about sharing it. But anyway, that's how simple it is. Some guy shares a QR code in a YouTube video and bam, I'm able to send him Bitcoin and it doesn't have to go through anyone. It's just from me to him. Awesome stuff. Guys, thanks for being here. If you liked the video, hit the share. If you didn't like the video, put it in the comments and tell me why. And have a super Friday evening. For now, I'll just say, Dinny out.